Good morning, true crime friends. How y'all doing? Listen.
Dear true crime friends, we clutch our pearls and laugh again. We all gather around. Kathy has a story to tell, our favorite comedian. Heffa, please, I don't have the free time unless you got the scoop again. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away. Hey, yeah, yeah.
Hey there, true crime friends. How y'all doing? Listen, first of all, that's a different intro than I used before, I think. I just added it a minute ago and I'm like, it sounds different. Anyway, we are here. We've gathered here this morning on a Sunday morning to talk about Sarah Grace Patrick with our good friend Tiff from Tiff Unraveled. Good
Good
morning, Tiff.
morning.
How
Good
are
morning.
you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I am completely in the dark about this case. I know
Okay.
absolutely nothing.
Okay.
And as we discussed in 2026, I'm going to try and get more information about cases through a series that I am calling GRI Deep Dives. I have my handy dandy notebook. I'm ready to take notes. You are the official expert on, I keep wanting to call her Sarah Patrick Grace,
Sarah Grace
but
Patrick.
Sarah Grace
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
So we got some of our true crime friends here to chat. This live stream is live on Tiff Unraveled and it's live on Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo. So go ahead and go over and like and subscribe on Tiff Unraveled, like and subscribe on Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo as we sit down for Tiff to give us a complete education. And you look like sexy librarian this morning with
Oh, thank
glasses
you.
and
It's the
everything.
glasses. It's the glasses.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
So I'll tell you what I know, which is
Okay.
very, very, very little. And
Okay.
then you can fill me in. So I know that Sarah Grace Patrick is a young lady who's accused in pra- matricide, fratricide, and the unfortunate unaliving of her mother and stepfather. That's everything I know about this case. And she
Okay.
went on social media to do something about it, but I don't know. Tell me every single thing.
Okay. So Sarah Grace Patrick is the defendant. She was 16 years old when these crimes
Oh,
took place. So that is a
that's
big,
so young.
that's a major point. I think it's going to be a major point in the trial. So all of this
Okay.
happened on February 20th of,
Mhm.
well, I was going to say this year, but it's last year now because we 2026.
Right.
Um her mother, her mother's name is Kristen Brock, and her stepfather, his name is James Brock. He was 45, Kristen was 41. Um
So young.
very, very young. It took place in their home, and it was actually Sarah Grace's 5-year-old little sister who woke up and discovered the scene in her parents' bedroom.
So the parents were shot, they were stabbed,
They
they were
were so the arrest affidavit said that they were both shot multiple times in their
oh
beds
my God.
while they were sleeping. And it was the little
Nobody heard
sister. So that's
nobody heard gunshots?
That's a big thing. I was looking at, like, a floor plan of the house, which wasn't a big, like, sprawling home, and all of the bedrooms are actually on the same, like, on the same floor, on the same side of the home. There were 4 of
Mm.
them, and they're all right there together. So a lot of people obviously are talking about, you know, how nothing was heard. Or now again, because of the age of the 5-year-old girl, the
Right.
her identity obviously is being protected, and anything that she has said hasn't been made public, so we don't know what she heard or what. But Sarah Grace Patrick allegedly told, and we'll get to that because she reached out on TikTok a lot,
Right.
allegedly told some creators that she didn't hear anything, which is odd. But
Was there like drug and alcohol use by either Sarah Grace or her parents?
Okay, so I have read, and none of this has been, I haven't found anything like official about the parents. There has been like whispers and speculation that they had like a history, maybe a couple brushes with the law,
Okay.
maybe some drug use in the past, but I couldn't find anything that like substantiated that. Everything I was looking at or reading was just kind of hearsay-ish. So I didn't touch
Mm,
at all. We're gonna, find out during trial. As far as Sarah is concerned, the only real motion that the defense filed, I saw this on court TV, was a motion in limine, which is defense trying to get something withheld from
right.
evidence or from being presented to the jury. And the motion was to withhold any text messages, um, or comments about like promiscuity on Sarah's side, and drug use, those kinds of things. So obviously, if they're
Drug
trying to
use by Sarah
by
or the
Sarah,
parents?
by Sarah. So
Oh,
if there's a motion to suppress it, then it must exist. But the question really is like, is it relevant to like what happened?
right,
So there's two ways to look at it, I guess. If prosecution is trying to introduce evidence like that, like why are they doing it? Are they doing it because it's
right.
relevant to what happened? Or are they doing it because, I mean, if you see Sarah Grace Patrick, she's so young, innocent
Yeah,
looking, very sweet looking.
yeah,
Are they doing that just to, because they know the jury is going to have a hard time reconciling like what they're seeing with what they're hearing? So are they doing it just to like, you know, make the jury dislike her, or you know what I mean? So and
to
again,
paint
we
her in a
don't know.
different light. I mean,
Exactly.
so a 16-year-old high school girl
Mhm.
who's reportedly promiscuous. I mean, but that could be mean like she had a boyfriend, you know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and drug use, I don't like 16-year-olds and drug use. I'm just thinking like she's smoking pot or something. I don't know if that
Right.
means she's smoking weed or she's out here like
Right.
dealing in H. Like who
Exactly.
knows, you know?
Exactly. And it wasn't specific. It was just defense filing that motion to make sure that that evidence wouldn't reach, a jury. I actually don't know what
Interesting.
the decision on that was. I saw that on court TV actually just a few days ago. I saw that motion after I had recorded my deep dive. But yeah, it was interesting, but is it
So
is it
so
relevant?
Sarah Grace, right, right.
Yeah,
And why would it be relevant? I mean,
right,
I could see if they say like honestly, when you hear a case like this, usually it's like the girl wants to spend more time with her boyfriend, the parents say no, and so the girl and her boyfriend get together and do something with the parents.
right.
The gun that was used in the case was not found in the house,
There
if
was
I
no
remember.
there was no weapon found or recovered at any point. Not that we know of. It hasn't,
Right.
as far as we know, no weapon has been found. That's another big point of like contention here as far as evidence against Sarah Grace. Because as far as we know right now, we don't know any. Carroll County has just completely held whatever they have very close to the, like, they're being very tight-lipped. We're gonna all
So
be
this is
learning at the same time that the jury is, essentially, because
right.
a grand jury did indict her, and I know you're not going to indict a now 17-year-old girl just on a whim.
Right,
Um,
right.
so
But
there must be something.
the grand jury only gets the prosecutor's evidence. There's
Mhm.
no defense.
Right,
So if the prosecutors go to grand jury and they say, okay, this is everything we have against her, you can either indict her or not indict her. Oh, excuse me. And they say, yes, there's enough to indict her.
right.
Then we go from there. if we haven't heard the defense's side. Now, I know there's been a lot of chatter about two things: her reaching out to social media and the eulogy that she gave.
Correct.
What's the deal with her reaching? You know what's funny? I remember them saying she reached out to somebody on social media, a channel called Reportedly Allegedly. And I was
Mhm.
like, oh, I love the name of that channel.
Yeah, she did.
So what did she say to Reportedly Allegedly? Allegedly Reportedly, what did she say to
Allegedly,
Allegedly Reportedly?
it is allegedly reportedly is actually the name of her channel.
Okay.
She sent her a message. I had a couple screenshots. She sent her a message and said, "Look up the Brock case."
Okay.
And then she said something along the lines, I'm just paraphrasing here. She said,
Right.
on a Thursday night in February, someone came into our home and brutally, took my parents, while me and my
Mhm.
sister slept in the home. Then the message, the message that followed was, I think it would be a really big hit. And I think that is where a lot of people are taking issue.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. So, but I think before she sent those messages, after her parents' death, she was
Mhm.
very active on TikTok, very
Okay.
publicly expressing a lot of grief. There were a lot of, like, slideshows of her parents. There was a lot of pictures of her just very visibly distraught and upset. And um,
Mhm.
people, I guess, found that behavior odd or unusual. I have 2 teenage daughters, and they
Yeah.
they've just grown up on social media, and I
Yep.
just feel like that shouldn't, and also, we know people grieve very
In
differently.
all different ways. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just don't feel
Yeah.
like that alone should be an indictment of, like, her guilt or her innocence. Like, we don't really know. Also, keep in mind she was 16 years old. We don't really know
Right.
what's going through the mind of someone who had just it's hard. I mean, and this case is very divisive. Like, there are 2 very different camps here. She did
Yeah.
it, she didn't do it. I mean, people are really divided.
When I saw that people were divided, I was like, why? And then this comment is very interesting. Let's see. Carolina Puntado says digital evidence will show Google searches that SGP did days earlier about, quote, how to commit the perfect murder and other similar Google searches. That's
Mm.
why GV indicted her. Yikes.
Yeah, I didn't see, like, any specific evidence. I know Ashley Holsey, I think she's, like, the spokesperson for Carroll County, Georgia, like, law enforcement, and she
Mhm.
she said multiple times, "We have mountains of evidence, mountains of evidence." But I didn't see, and
Wow.
I may have missed it, but I didn't see where they had said any, like, specific evidence or any smoking guns. I
Right.
imagine digital evidence is gonna be a huge part of this, especially considering I mean, she probably lived her life on her devices, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Um,
It's so interesting because when I was a teenager, if you wanted to commit a crime, like the only way there was going to be evidence of it is if you yourself carried around like the big video camera on your on your shoulder, which nobody was doing, right? But I feel like these kids, which makes me sound like I'm in my early hundreds, but these kids today,
these
they
kids
live on their
today.
phone. They live on their devices.
Yeah,
And they would, if they're not criminally sophisticated, they wouldn't necessarily know, oh, let me like Google on dark mode or whatever you need to do to
right,
make sure this is not found. So if she's crying on, I saw the videos of her crying and looking sad and saying
right,
like, this is so terrible, blah, blah, blah. Public grief, which I found a little bit gross, but not uncommon for a 16-year-old
right,
who has spent her life on. I mean, this girl was born, if she's 16, 17, she was born well into the 2000s, which is
right,
crazy to me. Like
right.
she's young, young.
Yeah,
She's super young.
yeah.
So, of course, she's on social media. laughing, crying, grieving, taking a shower, whatever. Like kids do
Mhm.
everything on socials. So that's not surprising to me. But the Googling, like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is probably going to be one of those cases like Brian Walsh, where he just had the most crazy Google
His
searches.
were ins that was insane.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that guy was
Um,
not very bright.
This LMP 69 says they have been tight lipped about the evidence, just saying we have a mountain of it. I want
Right.
to watch this one and keep an open mind and wait for evidence.
Absolutely.
Usually, when a case comes up, I already know how I feel about it. Sometimes I don't.
Right.
Sometimes I sort of have to learn as I go. But this one, I was immediately like, I could absolutely understand some of the things she did, calling social media, calling TikTokers saying, "Hey, investigate this."
Right.
Okay, Allison Galvani, my father's alibi, did the same thing to get people to try and cover
Right.
her father's case.
Right.
So I'm like, that part of it makes sense to me. The crying on TikTok, I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me if you're 15, 16 years old. Um, the Google searches though,
Yeah.
that's a whole other level.
Yeah, and we'll again, with the case like this, I mean, we're gonna be learning at the same time that the jury is. So and
Wow.
I agree with you. A lot of times before we go into trials, so much has been released. The public can find so much information, even from motions that are filed in court
Yeah.
about suppression of certain evidences and things like there wasn't any of that. So like there weren't even any little hints publicly as to like
Mm,
what we can expect to see and why they indicted this girl and what evidence they have to make them feel so strongly that she was responsible. So this one is actually one that I'm going into having absolutely no idea like where I'm sitting. I have no idea
same.
what's going to happen. Yeah. Yeah.
Same. There's a lot of chatter about the eulogy that she
Yes.
gave at
Yeah.
her parents' funeral. I have it queued up here. This is about a minute 26. Let's see. Let's see what she said. Let's see. Georgia teen charged for murdering parents after tearful eulogy. This is a short that was published by Annie Elise. I love Annie Elise. Hang on. Let's see what she has to
For
say.
those of you who do not know me, my name is Sarah, and I'm Kristen Brock's daughter and James Brock's stepdaughter. I just wanted to say goodbye to my mom and James since we never got the chance to. I'm sorry.
Now, I've seen a lot of back and forth online about this eulogy, and I'll just say this. Most people agree. It was strange, and that is putting it mildly. It didn't really sound like a tribute to two people who had just been brutally murdered. It felt more like this weird, kind of off-the-cuff, fumbled apology, more so than a eulogy, especially because Sarah ended it with the words, "I'm sorry." Now, if you didn't know much about the case, you would probably be scrolling on your For You page on TikTok, scroll past Sarah Grace's TikToks and see this very grieving teenager just trying to process this horrific tragedy that just happened in her life. However, to the investigators who were very locked in on this case, they were already eyeing Sarah Grace pretty closely. So now these videos, these TikTok videos, they weren't screaming heartbreak. To them, they were screaming guilt.
Now, so I don't know. I mean, listen, I think perception is a mirror, right? Like whatever you think, you'll find proof of or evidence of wherever you look.
Mhm.
Um, if I just saw that video, right? Just this standalone video of a girl who's like, I'm sorry. She could be saying, I'm sorry because I'm crying publicly. Like,
Mhm.
the
And
I'm sorry doesn't mean much.
and again, it's just depending on there's people on both sides of this fence, and I hear people say, I mean, full transparency, when I watched it, I just saw this girl stuttering over her words and having a hard
Hmm.
time to speaking through her crying, and she said, "I'm
Right.
sorry" a couple of times, and I initially was like, "What?" I just thought she was apologizing for not being able to to get the words out maybe in the way that she wanted
Yeah.
to. And then at the end, she said, I'm sorry. Again, like, those were her final words of the eulogy, and I think a lot of people thought that
Mhm.
was weird, like, "What are you apologizing for?" But so you have people who think that was, like, her giving, like, some masked confession, and then you have people thinking, like, she was just grieving publicly, and so again, I don't it's hard. I'm just in the state of mind where without somebody saying, like, "We can connect her to this through this, this, and this, and this," like, it's hard for me here to form any kind of opinion whatsoever.
Mm.
We don't have much.
What There's a strong allegedly, reportedly, there's a strong tie to the local church community. What do
Right.
you know? They were saying that, like, she got baptized. She got baptized while she was in prison. I don't. I didn't understand the baptismal part of it.
I
Why that
don't
was significant.
I don't think she got baptized while she was in prison. I think everything that I was reading was that so, like, during her bond hearing, she had a lot of people showing up for her, a lot of people in her camp. Her
Hmm.
pastor was one of those people who spoke for her. Her friends, her family. Well, so mom's side of the family is really supporting her. Her grandfather's name is Dennis Nolan. He is a very vocal, like, advocate for Sarah Grace, and this is
Hmm.
his own daughter was one of the victims here, and then so
Right.
she had a lot of community members, a lot of friends, a lot of church members showing up for her and saying, like, this is not her. She's always been an active member in the church. The pastor said that she made a personal decision to get baptized, that they were really just
Okay.
reiterating that she was, they said she had found a spiritual home in their congregation. Um,
Hmm.
really just trying to make sure that, people understood that she was like a good girl. This wasn't her. Um, so I know she was active in church before this happened. Her family was. So
But stepdad's family, like, it makes sense to me that Sarah Grace's mom and that side of the
Mhm,
family are like, "She's a good girl, we're gonna see this through, whatever, whatever."
mhm.
The stepdad, because they're not blood related to this girl, and they've
Right.
only known her, I would imagine, for a much shorter period of time. What are they saying about her, if anything?
Um, they are on the other side of the I think I can't remember her name. I know I have it in notes somewhere, but I think it was like her stepdad's sister. I think she was the one
Okay.
who is it sister or niece who actually had the video from the eulogy and shared. Her name is Kristen Dowda. Um,
Mhm.
and she was saying that there weren't any actual tears. That so she
Not
was
dry crying.
more
Oh.
she was scrutinizing that video a little, a little bit more, and which it's hard to tell from a video if you're not there.
Yeah, 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 for sure.
Um, so yeah, the other side is like James's son spoke at the bond hearing. His name is Tristan. It's his son from, a previous relationship. And he got up on the stand and said, you know, called his dad his Superman, which I thought was really sweet. And then said that Sarah Grace would absolutely be a flight risk, that he thinks that she would definitely flee rather than stand trial. Like he said that. So
Don't go. She's
I
16,
I
17. Like,
don't know.
she
Yeah.
got the money to buy a bus ticket? Where's she going?
I don't know. I think the main thing with that bond hearing was the witness side of it, because Sarah has a 5-year-old sister. They were really worried, or prosecution's witnesses were saying that they were really worried about witness intimidation or manipulation, that if Sarah had the chance to talk to the because she's going to be like, I think, a key in this, as far as like what she
Oh,
heard, what she saw. Obviously that testimony
right.
won't be like broadcast or, but yeah.
I mean, hopefully, the last time we had a case where a young child testified, that the last case I covered was Daisy Link. That's the girl. It was like a DV situation, and she got pregnant while in jail,
Okay.
supposedly through an air vent. She had a young son who testified, and he was on, like, he was in another room on like Zoom or something, and then the lawyers would get in front of the Zoom camera and would ask him questions. And honest to this, they were like, he has ADHD. He hasn't had his ADHD medication. And the both attorneys were like, "Hey, buddy, listen." And they were asking him these questions. Oh my God, it broke my heart.
Yeah.
Because they were like, "No matter what, buddy, this is gonna be okay." And I was like, "But it's not gonna be okay." I was fully in the ugly cry at work, fully in the ugly
Oh,
cry. So I feel like there might be ways to interview the 5-year-old sister without having her like sitting up there on the stand, as
yeah,
long as she's old enough to say, like, yes, I know, the truth and
right,
not the truth or whatever. But
right.
if not Sarah Grace, who committed this crime, do you think, or do people think? Chat, who do you think did it, if not this girl?
Yeah, so again, we're looking at two sides. Prosecution obviously is they're saying she did this, we can prove it, you'll see.
Right,
Defense,
right.
we don't really have a stance. Not that I could find like a definitive defense, like what they are saying, but I think it's going to be, yeah, just that this was someone else. I don't know if they're going to present like
Mm,
an alternative, perpetrator or whatever. We really just haven't had a
wow.
clear answer from defense, but some people are saying it was an intruder. Some people are saying it was tied to maybe somebody in the parents' past. Um, we don't know. And then because the weapon is missing, again, that's a big thing, right? There's no weapon. So,
Hmm.
which is why during one of the press conferences that Ashley Hulsey was holding, she actually said pretty early on after the arrest that it's a it's highly likely that someone else may have been involved. She didn't
Oh,
she didn't give us any evidence to that, and no arrests
oh.
no arrests have been made. But
Right,
I'm definitely
right.
interested because again, what evidence are we going to see that led them to think that maybe she was planning this, orchestrating this with someone else, and that's the reason that there's no weapon in the home because someone else was there and took it, or as
Oh.
defense will say, it was somebody completely different.
If the parents have some sort of narcotics history,
Mhm.
I mean, I've seen like rumors yes, rumors no, whatever.
Right,
If there's some sort of narcotic history, I'm seeing in chat people are saying like maybe a drug deal gone bad or
right,
something like that.
right,
Um, from the little bits that I've seen on this, there was little to no active evidence of an ongoing situation
right.
regarding narcotics. But I think I heard somebody say that Sarah Grace used to smoke pot with her parents.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't see that.
That could be incorrect, but I had heard that. Wait, it's saying Celicia is saying not narcotics, but weed.
Okay.
Okay, but like I can't imagine smoking. I can't even imagine drinking a glass of wine with my mom. Number one, because neither one of us drink. But let's see. Kelly Can't Get Right said that they were in recovery, both were clean. Right. I get that, but it's not. Depending how long they were clean, it's not uncommon for people who are relatively newly sober to still be involved in that lifestyle. I've heard situations where this person is like, I'm clean, I got my 90 days, I got my keychain, my chip, whatever. I am still moving a little product though. So it's like, just because they were clean doesn't mean that they have, you know, gotten rid of all that
Like out
past.
of the clear, right, right. Yeah. Right.
Right. It'll be interesting to hear what their social standing was, right? Because like you could be going to church and smoking weed with your daughter and moving a little something on the side if you're trying to make ends meet, you know what I mean?
Right.
Um, yeah, Kelly, are you a personal friend? She's like several years. They've been clean for several years.
Okay.
What is several? Cause I mean, listen, I am seriously, seriously biased as it comes to this. When it comes to these type of things, good Lord willing, this year I will celebrate 30 years clean and sober.
Oh my god,
But
congratulations.
yeah, it's a long time. But my behavior was real raggedy for that first 5. You know what I mean? I was absolutely not drinking alcohol or anything like that, but that doesn't I mean, I was never in the sales and marketing of narcotics or anything else. Because that would have required me getting out of bed, getting dressed, like, nah, I'm not about that life. But, there was a lot of other ridiculousness that I involved myself in. I'm not blaming these people for anything. I'm not accusing them of anything. I want to make that really, really clear, because I don't know. I
Right.
don't know anything about this case. Um, I kind of want to know, like, what's the scuttlebutt? What are they saying on Reddit? I mean, obviously, Reddit is not like the most reliable source,
But
but it is a good source of gossip, rumor, and innuendo, which is what we specialize in over here.
yeah, and it's again, it's very divided. That is actually where some links took me to, as far as like hearing some of the things about the parents' history. Um there was nothing like verified. There was no it was like the netizens, were saying, you know, talking about their past and stuff like that. So
Mm,
Um, and then, yeah, again, as far as Sarah Grace herself, it's everybody is so divided. There's a million reasons why people think she could have done this, and there's a million reasons why people think no way.
What are some of the reasons that they're giving for why they think that she did? Because it seems odd to me that if something terrible like this happens in a family, I mean, usually it's somebody but if there's sort of an illicit history with these people,
Mhm.
maybe somebody from a long time ago says, hey, you still owe me that money. Here I am with, to collect on the money. Why did they immediately start looking at the daughter, if you know?
I again, speculation. Now I do know that even the grandfather said that there were a few times where Sarah had expressed that she wanted to go live with her father, because her father was more lenient, and that
Okay.
she would have more freedom. So some people think that maybe what we don't know is that there was some form of like control or something else going on in the home that maybe we just aren't seeing or won't see until trial. Um
Hmm.
or again, on the other side of that very same thing, it's like, well, yeah, she's a teenage girl. She wants to go, oh, my light just died. She wants to go live with the parent who, is less
A
worried
late
about what she's
curfew.
got going on. Yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna fix this really quick.
Right.
Um,
No, no, you're fine, you're fine. Like, I mean, I could see as a teenager, whatever parent was gonna give me the latest curfew and not check my homework and
right.
give me the car keys, like, yes, please, that's where I wanna go. But,
Yeah.
these are all like teenager things.
Yeah,
I don't know that that necessarily means she's a criminal.
right.
Has she been arrested for anything else? Is
She has
there any
no
other
criminal history. There was no from everything that I read, no history of violence. Everybody who knew her and spoke out for her said that she wasn't even like an impulsive or irrational person, that she was just very grounded and smart and sweet. But again, this is all from people outside looking in,
Right,
and we don't know.
right.
And so a very key thing here while we're talking about that is that the defense back in August hired a neuropsychologist to
Okay.
evaluate Sarah, right? So this is someone who came in and did a very thorough assessment on so neuropsychologist is going to assess like the development of, her brain, her impulsivity, her rationality, her decision making ability, her mental health, all of that. Um
Mhm.
the this was something that I think the court had thought might cause even a delay in the start of the trial, but I think that, there hasn't been any word of that. So that report, I guess, has come back, and we'll see the results of that, in
Does
trial.
she have a boyfriend? Because I feel like,
Yeah.
particularly with young girls like this, the boyfriend, especially if they have like an older boyfriend or a troublemaking boyfriend,
Mhm.
something like that. Has there been any scuttlebutt in these true crime streets about like, oh, she's got this 20-year-old boyfriend or a 19-year-old,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like an
I
older
haven't seen
boyfriend.
I haven't seen anything, about that. There's been nobody talking about like, "Oh, this guy she was seeing." I haven't seen that. So, yeah, again, I think
Mm,
so that's what makes me think like, okay, what evidence there's obviously something, and,
yeah.
digital evidence is my absolute favorite kind of evidence. We were talking
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
Google searches, cell phone location data, like, did she stay at
Mhm.
home that night, or did she leave sometime in the middle of the night, or, so, like, these are the kinds of things that I'm like,
Oh.
was she texting a boy that, we don't know? Did she have a secret? I don't know what they have. They
Mm.
said they had physical evidence as well, though they didn't tell us what it was, but I imagine after this happened, I'm sure her room, her bedroom, the house was, you know,
There was
forensically.
supposedly gunshot residue on her, but I don't.
I saw some, like, chat about it, but I didn't see anything, like, I couldn't find any reports of where that came from. I couldn't even find anything that
Mhm.
definitively said what kind of forensic testing was performed. I don't know anything about
Right,
what they found on the clothes in her bedroom that she was wearing that night. I don't know if or when they performed gunshot residue tests. I'm sure they did, and if they did, I'm sure
right.
we're gonna hear about that. It's just they've been so tight-lipped about absolutely everything. It's so hard to know
Wow.
what we're gonna get into when trial starts.
Well, wait, the most important thing, oh, hang on, I grabbed the wrong one. Congratulations on 1,000
Did
subscribers. You
I
must
get
have hit
this?
1,000 while you were on here.
That makes me
Yay,
so
Tiff.
happy. Thank you guys so much. Oh my goodness. Thank you. That was my first, that was the first big goal that
That's
I
so
set for myself.
wonderful.
Oh, if I cry, don't get don't laugh at me.
Oh my god, that's
Oh,
so wonderful.
thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you
Congratulations.
guys so much. That's awesome.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you on all your hard work. The first of many, many milestones to
Oh my
come, I'm
gosh,
sure.
thank you so much. Thank you.
So, do we know who, Sarah Grace's attorney is? Like, is she using, public
I think
defenders? Does
she's
she
a
get one of these,
public
like, big name people?
I think she's a public defender. I think her name
Okay.
is, hold on, let me go to my notes really quick.
Sure, sure, sure. Wait, while you're looking, someone says, "What's the name of your channel again so I can go subscribe?" Tiff Unraveled.
If
We found Tiff
Unravel.
when we were doing the Karina Cooper case. I was looking high and low for somebody else who was covering the Karina Cooper case, and nobody had anything on it at the time. And saw this pretty lady doing all of these deep dives on Karina Cooper with excellent like production values. And I'm like, I'm
Aw,
just sitting here shouting at my iPhone in the living room. And this lady is actually like editing and stuff. Who is this lady, Tiff Unraveled? And
thank you
so
so
I
much.
discovered Tiff Unraveled. And every time I think of her, I hear in my mind, Houston Danker, Houston Danker, Houston Danker.
Oh my god,
Because that was the co-defendant in the Karina
Karina
Cooper
Cooper.
trial. And
Yes.
we discovered the gem that is Miss Tiff Unraveled. And
Thank
now she's got 1,000 subs.
Oh, that makes me so
Yay!
happy. You guys don't even know. I can't find it in my notes. It's Latoya you have to go to the internet. I think she is a
I
public
misspoke.
defender.
Go ahead. Okay, okay, okay.
I think that dad at one point, had gotten on he did an interview with Law and Crime, and I think he had said that they were gonna try to like, get her a really good attorney, but I think we ended up with our our public defender.
I mean,
Um,
in truth, in a lot of these cases, particularly if it's gonna be a high profile case, the public defender might be Latoya Williams,
Latoya
the
Williams. As soon as it popped
chat
up, I found it. Yeah, okay. Latoya Williams. We got it. Kelly,
chat
of
is
course, coming
updated.
in clutch.
Latoya Williams is her attorney, but honestly, in a lot of these high profile cases where you can't afford to go out and get like the top person in your area who's going to take care of this, a public defender knows those courts, knows
Mhm,
that judge,
mhm.
knows that clerk, knows how to work the system where
Right,
if you get a person who does cases in this courtroom every now and then, they're okay. But those public defenders are in and out of there every single
right,
day, and
right.
obviously the jury won't know them, but they will look, if the judge wiggles his nose a certain way, they're like, "Oh,
They know it.
I know that means he
Right.
needs coffee and I should take a break or I should speed this questioning up." So often I've seen some really fantastic public
Oh, yeah.
defenders
I don't
um,
think it
get
speaks to,
on
yeah,
cases.
the quality of the defense at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, listen, not all private attorneys are amazing and not all public defenders are amazing. Like, there's not all good and all bad, but there's
Absolutely.
some really amazing and passionate public defenders out there. And regardless of what your story is, I hope you get one. Natalie Lawyer Chick is a defense attorney, a public
Mhm.
defender, and she is amazing in my opinion. Um but yeah, so Sarah Grace Patrick has a public defender as far as we know.
Yes.
Um, this case starts jury selection tomorrow. Is
Tomorrow.
it tomorrow?
Yeah.
How long are they saying it's gonna they're saying they're predicting a 1 week trial. I don't know about that.
A week?
I thought they were
Interesting.
saying a 1 week trial.
Well, are you maybe
Um,
absolutely right? That just seems so fast.
I mean, this whole thing has come to trial so
It
quickly.
did. It did.
I mean, if this crime happened in February 2025,
Right.
we're now in January 2026. It's less than a year. It's a high profile case. It's been all over socials. I assume she asserted her right to a speedy trial, but this is speedy, super
Well,
speedy.
the judge in the case also was very he made it a point. I think it's Dustin Hightower. He
Okay.
said due to her age, due to the severity of the crimes that she's being accused of, I think where she's being held in solitary, like away from general population again because of her age
Right.
and all of that.
Right.
And he very specifically said, like, I want to get this. It's a priority. He called this trial a priority for those reasons.
She's been tried as an adult, no?
She has been tried as an adult, which in
Yikes.
yeah, in Georgia, I think I was reading the Georgia statutes said that at 13 in Georgia for violent crimes, violent severe crimes like this, um,
Mhm.
you can be tried as an adult. And again, I'm sure it's not a
Oh
decision
my
they come
god.
to lightly. They weigh, the severity of these crimes, like, it's included
Yeah.
very adult decision making
Yeah.
for this kind of thing to happen.
I mean, it's a
So
very adult crime. It's a double homicide. You know what I mean?
right,
Like,
right.
that's a big deal if convicted. Have we heard her theory of the crime or from her defense team, have we heard any theory of the crime yet?
We have nothing. They haven't said they haven't given an alternative to what happened. We don't know. Are they saying so when they hired the neuropsychologist, I think there were also people were talking about that in two ways as well. So they were
Okay.
saying that defense may use that assessment to say um that she had no impulse control, that she was feeling this way or that way about things that were going on in the home and like use it as a way to like mitigate maybe her state of mind or whatever what happened.
Right.
A lot of people think something completely different and say this assessment wasn't to, like, explain why she did this. It was to explain all of this stuff that people are talking about, which was her behavior in the months after, because, people are finding her behavior odd, or, so I don't know what that assessment is going to be used, to prove or to,
Right, right.
so I
Do
don't
we
have any theory. I have no idea what defense is gonna say.
do we know, Sarah Bridget is asking, Kathy, do you know who will be live streaming this trial? Paul, Emily. I don't think Emily D. Baker has mentioned streaming this trial. I watch her channel pretty regularly, and she's been off kind of for the holidays. Um, I don't know. Oh,
I
wait, we
believe
have an answer.
Oh,
Pretty Lies is streaming it. Gigi,
okay.
Pretty Lies and Alibis is streaming it. Um, I let's see. I subscribe to wait, hang on. Perimenopause
I
Perimenopausal
love that.
paralegal says, okay, Miss Kathy, I described to Miss Tiff on the strength of you recommending and her sexy librarian vibe. She has that.
Thank you.
On the strength of was word of the day the other day. I appreciate everybody using it in a sentence. For those of you who missed my word of the day series, on the strength of means because.
Because
That's all. Oh, and Courtroom Confidential has it. Melanie Little is streaming it. Okay, so a
Okay.
lot of people have it.
Yeah. Yeah. I do
Yeah,
remember hearing, Josh, Ritter talking about the case.
love Josh
So
Ritter.
yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess it comes down to, how do you like to get your trials? If you like it straight, no chaser, then I know Gigi's live trials, and I think Josh's as well, is just the trial with no commentary. Melanie Little will stream with commentary, so will Recovery Addict and a few others.
Mhm.
And the beauty of Melanie Little is that she is an attorney, so she can sort of give you more in depth what
Perspective.
things
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
And sometimes I want it just straight, like, I just want to hear what happened.
Mhm.
And other time I need somebody to pause and explain and go, well, no, this is because of this, and that means that.
Yeah.
So,
And if you guys are like me and you're working all day and you can't come home and watch 8 hours, I'll be doing also little, just kind of summaries at the end of each trial day, just to, like, go over, you know, anything of significance, what we heard, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And because I'm doing a deep dive on this case, I will do, 15, 20 minutes in the morning
Mhm.
summarizing what I saw, which may be different than what somebody else saw or experienced or whatever. I actually have a very busy week at work this week. And so I'll be like scribbling notes while I'm speed listening on the bus, on the way to work, on the bus, on the way home from work, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so however you want to watch, there will be plenty of places to watch this.
Yeah,
Wait, we have a
absolutely.
bunch of starred chats that I need to get to. Let's see. Phil Philization is a new member. Welcome. Sherry K 8087, a member for 7 months. Oh my God, so excited to be here live. We are so excited to have you live. The way these come up, they're hard to read. Kelly can't get right. Member for 9 months, my favorite ladies,
Hey, Miss
Tiff.
Kelly.
I was on a different live stream the other day, and I was saying, like, who should I have on for deep dives? And your name kept popping up in the chat. I was like, oh,
Really?
okay.
Oh.
Yes, they know Miss Tiffany. Um, okay. I read that one. Let's see. The utter audacity to seek out social media attention for a crime you're allegedly intimately involved in is unreal for me. You
Mhm.
know, I sort of agree with that, but I also feel like she's 16 and everything is social media? So I'm like,
Mhm. And
I'm
then I think
torn.
reaching out to, the creators, like, allegedly, reportedly, that's another one where people have two very different opinions on it. One is like
Oh,
this, like
yeah.
that it's very audacious and very bold of her. And then other people
Mhm.
think that, it had been months at that point. There was really no movement on the case. And just like how, back before social media, if someone felt like, something needed movement or trajectory, they would go to like their local news station or so this
Right.
day and age, it's social media for them.
Yeah.
So again, it's being looked at two very different ways here. It's interesting. It's
When I was
very
a kid,
interesting.
you'd go to 5 on your side. You're like, "This dry cleaner won't do the right
Yeah.
thing," or "I want" like, if you want to bring more social pressure, you can
Mhm,
tweet about it, you could get on social media. In that respect, her actions make perfect sense to me. Now, if we discover that she had, like, a bunch of Google searches that were like, where exactly should you shoot your parents and where should you hide the
mhm,
gun?"
mhm. That's
Then
why I
Imma
said
have some different feelings
as
about
the
it.
evidence comes out in trial, her behavior is going to take on a very different light, whichever side you're on.
Yeah.
As the evidence comes out, it's gonna be either like, "Oh, man," or it's
Like,
gonna
of
be
course, this is what kids
it's
do.
going to be
Yeah.
very interesting, yeah.
BB Lee 333 with the 1999 super chat. Thanks so much. Says, thanks to you both. I subscribe to Tiff and tried to super chat her too, but her supers aren't turned on. We were just having that
We were just having
conversation
that conversation.
before we went live.
I still have
And
absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I'm just
you click
learning
a
as I go,
button.
so
I
I
will
know.
show you. I will show you. Also, love Tiff's eyes. There have been a lot of comments
Oh,
in chat about your eyes. I'm
oh,
like, oh,
thank you. Thank you so much.
that's so sweet. Right. That eulogy though,
Mhm.
Afton, it's so funny. Like the eulogy, I feel like the eulogy is sort of the Rorschach test of what do you think of this
Where
case,
are
right?
you? Yeah, where's your preconceived notion?
Yeah.
Because again,
'Cause I
totally different opinions on
if
even
I
just
knew
the eulogy.
nothing about this case,
Mhm.
if I knew absolutely nothing about this case and I saw this eulogy, I would be like, right. She's a teenage
Mhm.
girl crying and talking. And listen, I know grown women who say, I'm sorry. Just like that's their I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Me.
I'm
Yeah.
you're an I'm sorry. I'm
I'm
so
sorry.
not an I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
so not an I'm sorry person. I work with a woman who's like a superior to me and I go, "Oh, hey, can I talk to you?" She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. What did I do?" And like that's just sort of her knee jerk
Mhm.
reaction.
Mhm.
There are people who are very like who are I'm sorry people.
Right. Right.
I probably could say it more because sometimes I do things and I'm not sorry, but I should be. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I can take a lesson.
I'm actually trying to get better at it because I just say it for no reason
Yeah.
sometimes. Like,
Reflex. A lot of
yeah,
people just say it on reflex. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Again, I should probably work on myself. But yeah, so all the I'm sorry's during the eulogy, her reaching out to social media, I'm just like, I want to hear what these opening statements are. And
Mhm.
because honestly, it's not what the state says, right? What can they prove?
Right.
Trials are always what can they prove?
Right.
They say they have a mountain of evidence. Show me your mountain of evidence. I want to see it.
Right, and
And if I
a
see it,
mountain of evidence is a I mean, okay,
yeah.
what do we have? And then again, I'm looking forward to opening statements because that's gonna put into perspective
Yes.
what the defense is, like, where are they going with this? Where are they
Mhm.
taking us? Yeah, so opening statements are gonna be a
Mhm.
big v I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. A lot of people in chat are like, "Oh, I'm sorry person. I say
Yeah,
I'm sorry 1,000 times a day." Yeah,
yeah,
a lot of people are just I'm sorry people. Like it's sort
mhm,
of reflexively they say I'm sorry, which okay. but I feel like that's a woman thing. A lot of women say I'm sorry a lot. Um, ooh, this is good. I want to see behavior panel on her police interview. Has
Mm.
behavior panel commented on her police
So
interview? If
Scott
anybody knows or if you know?
Scott Rouse on his channel, not Behavior Panel, but Scott Rouse, I think did touch on the eulogy. I think it's a
Okay.
quick 7 or 8 minutes, but I think he did. I didn't watch it. I hadn't watched it yet. I think I just saw it a couple of days ago when I was doing some more research here, but Scott Rouse did touch on it. So if you guys want to go look at that. And then of course, yeah, in court,
Ooh.
you know, all of the interviews, all of that stuff is going to start coming out. So definitely, I love those guys. I love when they
The
break
behavior
stuff out.
panel?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
And I like Dr. G Explains.
Oh, I don't know
Love
that
Dr.
one.
G Explains. Oh, he's a bald guy who's really smart. He gives like he gives good phone. He has a really, really like just sultry
Like
voice.
a good
And
voice.
he's a behavior analyst, some sort of behavior analyst expert.
Okay.
I love he could talk about it. He could read the phone book and I would just be like, tell me more.
Okay. I have to check it out.
Explain to me what the B section means in this telephone book. Yeah, Dr. G Explains is awesome. But I will check out you said Scott Rouse? I have to
Yeah,
write this
Scott Rouse.
down.
He's one of the behavior panel members.
Ah.
And I don't
I
know if
just think
any
of
of
them as those four guys in the
those
boxes, but
4. Yeah, no, I think it was just Scott Rouse that I saw. The other ones may have touched on other aspects of that eulogy or her social media stuff, but I just happened to come across that one when I was
mhm.
researching this one. So I do know he touched on it. Yeah.
But she's a young girl who just went through a trauma. She's at the funeral of her parents. You know, this one is so loaded. I'm excited to go into a case. This is the first case in a long time where I haven't known anything about it,
Mhm.
aside from like bits and pieces. I watched your deep dive, Tiff, on it, and I was like, okay, I know a little something. I got to get Tiff on here so she could tell the class, explain to the class everything we know.
Yes.
Um, and you've told us that you'll be recapping this daily every couple of days. What's the plan?
Okay. I
No
want
promises.
I want to daily. I'm going to be listening to the trial at work. Taking
Okay.
taking
Your boss doesn't know though, right?
I just wear my hair down so they can't see the
Okay.
AirPods.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect.
Um, taking notes. So I do want the goal is to come home every day and just kind of give a brief summary, like, half an
Yeah.
hour, just touch on everything. If I can do it every day, I will definitely every couple of days just kind of go through everything. I did see a comment really quick about forced entry in the home. That's the other thing. There was no signs of forced entry. There was no sign of
Oh.
struggle anywhere. Nothing was ransacked. So this was a very intentional act. Whoever did this with
Oh.
one purpose only. So no struggle, no robbery, nothing was missing, nothing was ran through. It was if there was an intruder that came into that house, they came into that house with one thing and one thing only. So that is also another
Oh.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
At least like, I mean, I don't know, call me crazy. Like, if you're gonna do something terrible to your parents, at least like pull out a kitchen drawer. Like
There was
something,
nothing. There
turn
was
something
nothing.
over.
No sign of
Oh,
struggle at all
wow.
and no forced
Oh
entry.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So that's good to know. No forced entry, no boyfriend, no public boyfriend that
That
we
we know
know
of.
of. Nobody's been
Right.
connected.
Right. Right. But that's the whole thing with this case is it's all that we know of because we know nothing
Oh,
other than what we see with the social media and the eulogy. That's all we have. And
yeah.
that's not enough, to
Yeah.
go into this with my mind on one way or the other. So
Did she get along with her stepfather that you know of?
yeah, so everybody said outward appearances that, they all got along. Even Sarah Grace Patrick's father and mother and stepfather were all on, like, good terms. They had been divorced for, like, a long time, and so it was all very, like, cordial and, um,
Mhm.
there was again, but that's all from outside looking in. We don't know what was going on behind closed doors, but from what everybody said, the family, all got along great. There was no, like, no known
Interesting.
contention. Yeah. Again, other than the teenage girl saying, like, "I'd like to go live with dad because he's less, strict," or, but
Right, right.
yeah, even,
This is
oh, go ahead.
This is an interesting comment. Iowa travel nurse says city people don't understand that lots of us in rural areas don't lock our doors.
Mhm,
Um, I live in the suburbs where the police have those bulletin boards that they can like
mhm.
put different messages on. And commonly in my town, the police bulletin board will say, lock your
Like,
doors.
as a
And I live
reminder.
Yes, especially during part of it I get, right? Like during the holiday time, and I mean the Jewish holidays, people will walk back and forth to their local synagogue. And
Mhm.
I don't know what it is with keys. You can't, like on the Sabbath, you're not supposed to do work. And I guess carrying a key is considered work. I don't know what it is, but
Mhm.
there's something related to the Jewish holidays where commonly people will leave their doors unlocked.
Right, okay.
Um, and so they frequently put up these signs that say, lock your doors, you must lock your doors."
Mm,
There's a major highway that's not far away that runs straight to New York City. You could be in New York City with no traffic in 10 minutes. With traffic, it might take you 20 or 30, but
mhm,
that's still pretty fast if somebody's at like a church or a religious service.
mhm.
They could slip in your home and jump on the highway and be out, especially if the
Yeah,
door is unlocked.
yeah, and no, I mean, that's a great point. Just because there's no forced entry doesn't mean that
Yeah,
someone didn't let themselves in. Because 'cause you're absolutely right, the
right.
door may have been and they are in a very way back. I mean, it's Carroll County, Georgia. It's very I hate
Oh,
saying
it's
this word, guys, don't make me say it. Rural.
oh, yes, that word. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I had not realized that. I assumed that they were in, like, a suburb or something. They're way out in the country someplace?
Yeah, yeah, it's and I mean, even they were
Oh,
showing, like, drone footage of the house. I mean, there's neighbors, but they're very like, they were on, I think, like, 1.5 at least acres of land, just their property. So,
okay.
neighbors are, quite far away, and so, yeah,
Yeah,
it is entirely a possibility that they just, don't lock
and
up
just
at night.
walked in.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah. This is also another interesting comment. That's messed up that law enforcement is not being transparent. I mean, it's sort of a mixed bag. If there's an ongoing investigation, then they can't be transparent, right? Because then you're like,
Especially
"Here's all the evidence."
if they're looking for someone else who may have been involved, I can understand them keeping things,
Yeah.
close. In a small town, court of public opinion, right? Fair trial, right? So if we're putting out
Mhm.
all of this information where people are, making decisions before trial even starts, I mean, that makes jury pool a lot harder to pull, I mean, if you're giving
Yep.
people all of this information and forming their giving them ways to form opinions beforehand,
Right.
it can
Right.
definitely make things a little bit more messy. I trust me, I'm in the same boat. I wanna know,
Same.
we're used to having all of
Same.
that at our fingertips, but yeah.
Yeah. Natalie L.
Oh,
says, "I would
no.
like to hear about the rural juror."
I am not
Evil. Evil.
that's mean. I'm not even gonna attempt that. Terrible. I thought you
Hilarious.
guys were my friends.
Evil, 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 evil. Let's see. Carolina Hurtado says they both use prescription drugs. A family member said that they thought they had overdosed on fentanyl the morning of the murders.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. And there was one more on here. Wait, Julie Miracle? I'm not sure. Just subscribe to Tiff. Loving this collab.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much.
Julie. Thank you.
Let's see. Afton says, I used to say sorry all the time. I'm older and wiser now. I don't apologize for my existence anymore. Good for you.
Yes.
That's awesome. Let's see. Love Dr. G and all behavior panel. I'm also on the fence. We shall see. Yeah, Julie, I am very on the fence on this one, which is very unusual for me.
Same.
And
Same.
Slinky 2021, member for 3 months, cleaning up a murder can be interpreted as work. Use a key and a lock. Yeah, shaking my head. Yeah, absolutely. Use a key and a lock, but not everybody does, and there are a million reasons why people don't. Tiff, we are over our 1 hour.
All
Tell
right.
everybody where they can find you.
I am here on YouTube mostly at Tiff Unraveled. No space.
Yes.
Just Tiff Unraveled, all one word. And I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, all with the same name. So you guys can come and follow me there too if you want to.
Wonderful, wonderful. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hype Tiff. She's a young channel and she could use the hypes. Also like, subscribe, share, also share Tiff. Share and hype Gossip, Rumor, and Innuendo.
Absolutely.
And we will be keeping an eye out on this trial. I will have other cases until the jury is selected. It might take a couple days to get a jury on this case. So the first couple days of this trial, I have other cases that I will be covering. I'm doing a couple of maricide cases right now. That is where one spouse kills another. Apparently, that's called maricide. I posted one for the members this morning that will go live tomorrow. I have another one queued up in case we don't have a jury by Tuesday. So there will be a different maricide, a crazy maricide case on Tuesday. But y'all stay safe out there, and we will see you next crime. Hang on.
Dear true crime friends, we clutch our pearls and laugh again. We all gather around, Kathy has a story to tell, our favorite comedian. Heffa, please, I don't have the free time unless you got the scoop again. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away. Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 hey. The world is filled with chaos muppets that like people to kick the bucket from Idaho, Iowa, and everywhere in between. Heffa, please, boncation in the first degree. Heffa, please, come solve the case with me. Here for the gossip, rumor, and innuendo. I will live for today until the endless heaven buffet takes me away. Yeah.
Come here, not Spike. Come here, bye, not Spike.